Hey everybody, and welcome to this next video where I'm going to be discussing diet and lifestyle routine tips that you could be using into your day-to-day life to help reduce your anxiety. So there's also going to be a whole cheat sheet on all the foods that you should be eating for anxiety. But in this video, I just want to go over a few basic bullet points on how this diet and lifestyle works. And I don't want you to think that this diet is going to suck. It doesn't suck. There's nothing bad about this diet. There's no counting calories or nothing painful. Don't worry about that. I just want to go over a few tips that you could use to start implementing into your life and to help reduce your anxiety starting today. So a couple things I want to talk about. Some key points is like one of the major key points about this whole diet is like everything that you eat and drink, you should be avoiding cold foods and cold drinks altogether. So that means like no more eating cold pizza out of the refrigerator or eating raw carrot sticks or even putting ice in your drinks. So avoiding cold is going to help you out because cold weather, cold food actually increases your anxiety. Now, on the other hand, what you should be doing is having everything cooked. So that means no more raw vegetables, no more salads even, but everything has to be cooked in butter, in oil, or some kind of healthy fat like coconut oil or whatever else like that. So, everything you eat has to be cooked, and everything you drink, for instance, if you have water, make sure it's room temperature, or maybe you have hot tea or something like that. And it's actually kind of goes against what some people think, but cold drinks do not actually boost your metabolism. I know it's been said so many times, many ways, but it's actually, warm water or room temperature water, hot tea actually boosts your metabolism better than anything else. So if you ever have a stomach ache, even just drink some warm water. If you ate some, some bad Mexican food, let's just say, and it's just sitting in your stomach. That happens all the time when I go eat cheap Mexican food. But it's like if you have if you have food in your stomach, it's just sitting there. Have some warm water, and it will actually help your metabolism boost up. So I know for a fact that warm water does boost your metabolism, and it's going to help your digestive system as well. So going back to the whole diet is like everything you eat needs to be cooked and needs to be a hearty meal. So like focus on heavier foods such as meats and like potatoes and soups and just like really saucy hearty meals. So no more raw foods and no more cold drinks, but start paying attention to meals that have at least room temperature water and everything's cooked and well prepared. And so that's one of the biggest things when it comes to your diet and lifestyle. So I'm gonna have I'm gonna have a whole cheat sheet of foods that are best for anxiety down below, where you can actually look through everything one for one and pick out what you like best. But I just want to give you some quick tips on some general concepts of this whole diet. So that's just number one. Avoid cold foods. Everything needs to be cooked. The second thing I want to talk about is you need to get on a routine of some kind. Now, if you have anxiety, you might have this whole chaotic, hectic lifestyle to where you might wake up at 7 a.m. one day, the next day you might wake up at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and then you might go to bed one day at 8 at night, or then you might go to bed at 2 in the morning. So it's you might have this whole crazy, hectic lifestyle. And same thing goes with your meals. You might eat lunch one time at noon, but then you might not eat anything all day long, and your first meal might be at 6 o'clock at night. So not having a routine will have your mind and emotions chaotic, just like your physical world is chaotic. You wake up at different times every day, you eat at different times of the day, you work at different times of the day, you go to bed at different times of the day, you go to the gym at different times of the day, you do everything at different times of the day. You have no routine. So if your physical world has no routine or no rhythm, your mental world and your emotional world are going to have no rhythm either. So this is something that's very easy to do and that you can grab a hold of as compared to your thoughts, your emotions. But the physical world is something that you can change very easily. You can change your diet just by easily buying the right foods at the grocery store, cooking them, and then making sure you go to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time, and just getting on a basic rhythm of life in general. And this is also going to help out your metabolism as well, because you should be, and your metabolism has a lot to do with your health and your well-being. That's why I talk a lot about metabolism. But if you get on a regular rhythm and your body eats every day at the same time, you go to the bathroom at the same time, and then you go on a rhythm, your emotions and your mind will fall into place as well. You'll become more pleasant, more cheerful, and because you have more of a rhythmic lifestyle that you can play along to, basically. Think about a song. A song without a melody is basically just noise. So, but rhythm and melody is part of a song. So if your life has some rhythm, you're gonna start developing a little bit of melody with your cheerfulness and your happiness because you're actually on a set rhythm that you enjoy. And so find a time that you like going to bed, find a time you like waking up, find a routine that you like to do, and just stick to it the best you can. And you'll actually notice that maybe you're a type of person that likes to have their mornings to themselves. So once you start waking up early enough to have your morning to yourself, and you can reboot your thoughts and your emotions, you might have a pleasant afternoon and evening because your morning was so great. Now, if you're a type of person that likes to get all your work done in the morning and then have a more relaxing evening, then do that too. Just find what works for you and get on a healthier, happier rhythm of life, basically. So that's the second thing I want to talk to is, so you have to establish some kind of rhythm to establish a better form of thoughts and emotions. Like, don't live this chaotic, hectic lifestyle. Get into a rhythm, because once you're in rhythm, you're going to have more melody and better happiness in your life all in general. Now, the third tip I want to talk about is something that's going to be that you can do right now, and this is actually really soothing, and this isn't mentioned in my cheat sheet, but there is something called ghee, which is like a clarified butter, and you can find it at Walmart, at Target, on Amazon. But if you take warm baths with ghee, ghee will actually help your skin, help nourish your skin, and it's a great way to feel physically rejuvenated, and it's a great skin moisturizer. But I just want to say, like, ghee is going to help basically soothe your nerves and calm down your nervous system. And taking a bath once or twice a week in ghee will help you make you feel really great. So if you take a draw up a warm bath and you take half a cup, maybe a quarter cup of ghee, put it in your bath water and just basically bathe in ghee for 20 minutes, you're gonna start feeling really great. And also while you're in the bath, you can give yourself a quick self-massage, just going over your muscles and everything like that. But ghee is a huge superfood that, you're not really gonna see this anywhere, on any blog or website or whatever. That's why I made this part of my course. And this one little quick tip is just to put ghee in your bath water, and you're gonna feel super, super good. And so I make a note to take a bath at least once a week. But if and yeah, it's going to be a little slippery too. So if you drain your water, obviously be careful, and you have to take a shower to rinse off. But ghee is like a superfood that's just going to help nourish your nervous system, which is going to help calm your mind and emotions even more. Now, a second fold, every day you can actually cook with ghee also. So if you cook with ghee, it's going to help your nervous system from the inside, from your inside out. So taking a bath is like helping from the outside in. But if you actually take a tablespoon of ghee or cook with it once a day, you're gonna start feeling really good internally as well. So ghee is actually gonna help, is a really great way to nourish your nervous system, which is all about your mind and your nerves and how you feel all over. But ghee is like one of the best superfoods that I can mention to help you out. So give this a shot. You can buy ghee from Walmart or Target or Amazon. You can get it in organic or non-organic, whichever is about the same thing. With whatever you prefer. But just take 1/4 cup of ghee and put it in your bath water and just bathe in it for 20 minutes in warm water, and you're going to start feeling more soothed and more relaxed. And so these are just some quick tips that you can use to reduce your anxiety. And I guess if I were to leave you off with one more tip, make sure your environment is also good and clean as well. So by that I mean like the people you hang out with, the people you work with, because it could be the people that you're hanging out with that are giving you anxiety. If you have a stressful job, if you have a manager or a boss or whatever that yells at people or whatever else and that causes you anxiety, just know your environment is what's causing your anxiety as well. So you can do meditation, you can do all these diet and lifestyle tips, and you can always start to feel good. But if you keep going back to work where you're getting all this anxiety or whatever, you either need to find another way to cope with that, or leave and find something better or whatever else, or just for the time being, just find another way to cope with your current situation until you find another better opportunity. Or maybe whatever. So I'm just saying, whatever your case is, look at your environment as well. So I could just, for instance, just an example, the other day, I was on the phone with my brother 2 weeks ago. Okay. And so whenever I get on the phone with my brother, it's like I can be having a great day, but all of a sudden when I get on my phone with my brother, I get all this anxiety. And so I was like, why do I? And it was just really weird. It's like I don't have anxiety ever except when I talk to my brother. And so then I was actually at dinner the other day with my brother and my sister, and my brother left the table for a second, and my sister goes, he gives me so much anxiety when he talks. And so I was like, oh my gosh, so maybe it's not me. And so like my brother not only gives me anxiety, but he also gives my sister anxiety. So that's something to think about, is like you have to consider your environment and who you're with, because you might be picking up the vibrations and thought patterns of other people around you. So like I said, like I can have a perfectly nice day, but when I talk to my brother, as much as we are friends, like for some reason I get the anxiety. And so I was like, I always find it kind of weird because it only happens when I'm on the phone with him. So, but like after being at dinner with my sister, my brother, and my sister saying, my brother, our brother, he gives me so much anxiety. And then it just kind of clicked with me. It's like, oh, it's really the environment of the people that you're with sometimes. So really check with yourself and see what your environment is like. I mean, are you around people that are giving you anxiety? Could you be around better friends, or are there certain family members or coworkers or whatever that cause you anxiety? Really take that into account, and then if that's giving you anxiety, do your best to avoid them, or somehow change the situation, or have a talk, or whatever needs to be done to change that vibration, or that relationship. Just change it to where like you can have less anxiety. But just keep that in mind, that your anxiety might be being caused by something else, or whatever. Maybe it's something a book that you're reading, or there's a blog that you read that gives you anxiety on the news, or whatever. Just consider your environment could be causing anxiety as well. So those are just a couple cool tips that I wanted to include in this video. We talked about your diet. We talked about basically your lifestyle routines. We talked about taking baths with ghee, and just taking control of your environment to help reduce your anxiety. And just know, like, it might not always be you that's causing your anxiety. It might be something else. So keep that in mind. I hope this video helps you out. Really consider the things that I've talked about. Check out the cheat sheet below where you can actually look at all the foods that are great for anxiety. And remember, cook everything in oil and ghee or some healthy fat, and avoid raw foods. But I already discussed that. But anyways, I hope you enjoy this whole video and you're going to enjoy these tips. And I'll see you in the next video where I'm going to talk about more about positive thinking and getting your thoughts to a higher vibration. So we'll see you in the next video, and try out these tips.